The Promised Neverland. The anime of the season that's got everyone scratching their heads as to what exactly happened for it to come out like this. Considering the source material, the manga, had already been completed. It's got the fan base completely shaken up, from the manga readers to the anime onlys. I'm an anime only myself, and this season has left me rather sad. Not enraged, not disappointed, but sad. And here's why. After coming off that stellar first season, my expectation was high. I was brimming with curiosity as to what direction the show would take. I was certain it wasn't going to take a more actiony route, as the show had already been established that it's not that kind of shonen. I held myself from reading the manga because I wanted fresh anime experience. And then the second season got announced, and I was crazy hyped. When that promotional visual dropped, my mind was running. I had so many questions and couldn't wait to have them answered. Oh, and this may be a good time to add that this video will contain spoilers for both seasons of The Promised Neverland. So if you haven't caught up to the anime and do not like spoilers, I recommend you pause this video to go catch up and come back later. And I'd also like to add that there will be no manga spoilers, as I'm an anime only and this is from the perspective of an anime only. Now, back to the video. When that first episode dropped, I really enjoyed it. I loved the way it opened and I loved the way it ended, but I did have one problem, which was with the OP, which may have done a little bit of harm to the anime, but more on that later. I may have gotten too excited for it, but anyone would be if you were watching your favorite anime. So, after the first episode showed a lot of promise, I was eager to see what episode 2 had in mind, and when it dropped, there was a lot of montages, passing time and whatnot, which was pretty boring. But it was towards the end of the episode that things got mildly interesting, in the form of that little interaction between Emma and Sonju, which seemed to have had a bit of character development for Emma. Great, I thought she was going to head down some kind of errand direction, or something like that, and I got invested again. Then episode 3 hits, and I started to feel something was off. It started off with a few more montages and minor interactions, which was starting to feel a bit rushed. Everything was either a montage or a conversation, nothing really being plot heavy. The highlight of that episode being the conversation between Sonju and Mujika. Then they set out for the bunker, getting ready to race the wasteland. I was eager to see what dangers they would have to face, what kind of demons they would have to outsmart. But nope, they already found it in that same episode. After constantly reminding us that the world outside is dangerous, they're doing a pretty awful job showing us just how dangerous it is. But hey, at least they found the bunker, so yay! And then we're hit with more montages of the kids exploring the bunker and just having some downtime, like they didn't already have that in the previous episode. But then towards the end of the episode, we're hit with two pretty good cliffhangers. The mysterious phone call scene and that help me scene. Now I thought this was great. I thought maybe this was why they were rushing to get to this scene, because I assumed the next couple of episodes will be about uncovering whatever dark mystery that was hidden inside the bunker. But nope, just a few more montages and boom, bunker gets invaded and they have to escape. And this marked the start of my sorrow. I was kind of bummed out that they had to leave that place, but looking back, I guess the writers didn't really know what to do with the bunker, so they got rid of it. And not even Isabella's reveal was enough to keep me invested. But I still wanted to keep watching to see how things would play out. To add salt to injury, the next episode was going to be a recap episode. Now, I'm not against recap episodes as I understand why they exist, but having a recap episode so early into the season was weird, because there wasn't really anything to recap about. This was also the time I found out the season would be taking the anime original route, so I was confused, but also a bit curious. But then episode 5 comes in and we're hit with a time skip, out of nowhere. We don't know what they've been up to or how they survived, but we're made to just deal with it. That's missing out on content right there. A great chunk of the episode just feels like filler. Then, out of nowhere, we're introduced to two demons who are having it rough and desperately need human meat to help with their degenerating siblings. I thought they were trying to give the demons some kind of depth to relate to, but I guess I was wrong. Then some hijinks ensue and we've got a chase scene which was not as intense as they made it out to be. The parkour was kind of nice though, but then comes the Norman reveal, and I was not a tad bit surprised. This is, without a doubt, the worst reveal I have ever seen. A reveal only works when there's a build-up, when the breadcrumbs have been laid out for the viewers to pick up on the clues. You know, good foreshadowing. But in Norman's case, there was no such thing. The OP just undercuts this even more. Remember how I said that I had a problem with the OP? Well, it was with this scene in particular. You see, this serves as the only form of Norman foreshadowing in the entire anime up until this scene, and it was way too obvious. Look, this is the OP before and after the Norman reveal. See? Pretty obvious. I couldn't help but feel like I had gotten something stolen from me. And it doesn't end there. In the next episode, Norman straight up gives us an exposition dump on what happened to him after he left the farm. He just narrates and narrates and narrates. We don't even get accompanying still frames. This was a potential arc right there, but now it's gone. How did he meet the other members of his crew? How did they escape the facility? How was he able to create that drug? Questions we're supposed to forget and just deal with it. This was really saddening, and this was the moment I decided to stop. I could not go on. I pretty much got spoiled by the anime itself. It stripped me of the shock, the joy, the sense of wonder from experiencing all these things from the first time. I won't be able to unsee these things I've seen unless I got hit with an amnesia ray or something. Yeah, I could read the manga, but I won't be able to enjoy it for two reasons. The first being that feeling of what we were supposed to get animated but never got the chance to see. And the second reason being that I already know a great deal of the major plot points, so it won't exactly feel new or as interesting. It hits different from rewatching a movie or rereading a book, and that's not in a good way. I'll probably get into the manga maybe a couple of years from now, but I don't think that bitter taste will ever leave my mouth. And I'd like to add, at the time of this recording, the final episode dropped, and from what I've seen, the community isn't too pleased about it. There is rage everywhere. But hey, if this rage does go on, maybe we'll be able to will the Promised Neverland director's cut into existence. Who knows? I mean, it worked for Justice League, so the chances are definitely not zero. But what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on the second season? Let me know down in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like. This is BreadHead, signing off.